So
I like seeing that. Look at that. Handshake and then the hug.
we're going to have to talk. I'm going to show you some highlights. Paulie should get a 3-round to 2 decision. It's 5 rounds, 2 minutes. Wow. Let's talk.
Both guys did some good things.
Let's talk for a minute.
Paulie seems like he figured out.
So let me mute it. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. Now, if they can get more boxers and more mixed martial artists, you know, because bare knuckle fighting championship, it is that middle ground. Now, the hands are wrapped all the way up until the knuckles. Now, there's been controversy throughout the night from Malignaggi bitching about the galls of Lobov, bitching about Vaseline, or Paulie's team bitching about Vaseline. Then a rumor coming from Anthony Rumble Johnson that the commissioner from Florida, the state athletic commissioner, and the BKFC champion, head or owner, rushed back to Paulie locker room because something was going on. But it's like, how can you cheat with bare knuckles? Like, when your knuckles are exposed, you can't load up your knuckles, you know? So it was interesting. Nonetheless, we're going to listen to the post-fight interview. We're going to watch some highlights. This is all live, real time, literally. As this right now is happening, you know, this is happening right now live. So this is all uncut. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. We cover every single major fight live. And Paulie looked good. He controlled the fight with the jab. Now, the first round, he was a little bit confused, you know, like getting the lay of the land. And also, he hasn't fought since he retired versus Sam Eggington. You know, was that a couple years ago, 3 years ago? Here, let's listen in. They're about to read the cards.
The thing is, nobody was able to establish that for the.
So this event was built off of the name of Conor McGregor and that sparring footage, or those clips that we saw. And this was supposed to be Paulie Malignaggi beating up.
This history-making bare-knuckle fight.
What are they talking about?
Has gone the full 5 rounds, and here are the score totals from our judges.
Let's listen in.
Daniel Torres, Troy Winkaba, and Michelle Olney all score the fight 48-47 to the winner by unanimous decision, Artem!
Oh, shit!
Florida judges seeing it the same way. 48-47, 3 rounds to 2 in favor of Artem Lobov. I think they saw the last 3 rounds when Lobov came forward. He was doing more damage, and that's what they liked, the pressure.
I think the aggressive boxing by Lobov did it for him, but definitely a close fight. Hats off to Paulie Malignaggi.
Artem Lobov now 2-0 in BKFC. Victorious in this truly historic fight. Ron Kruk is with the winner.
Yes, baby. Conor, 1882, the first Irishman to ever become a bare knuckle world champion. That is next for me. Bare knuckle world champion. I'm bringing it back to where it started.
Artem Lobov, you made John L. Sullivan proud, I'm sure.
What the hell just happened?
Biggest in combat sports history, taking out a 2-division boxing world champion. Can you put this victory into words?
You know, it was an emotional fight. So as a result, I came in a little bit on the back foot, more than usual. But you know, I still pressed. I was still stalking him, and that's a nice decision win for me.
Artem, definitely was a nice one. You were worried that he would use that speed and run around the squared circle and you'd have to chase him. You did that, but you were very effective once you got in there and used your clinch. Break down this fight technically for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, also being in there with a professional boxer, it's been my first time, so you know, the whole fight more or less was boxing. You know, we clinched very little. He was good at defending, and I wanted to box myself as well. And also without the gloves, you know, the punches are a lot faster, so it's harder to time them and slip them, but we got the job done.
Artem, you had to deal with not only some physical but verbal abuse leading into this fight. He spit on you. He hit you with a microphone. He slapped you. How satisfying is after all that you had to deal with to walk away the victor tonight?
You know, to me, there's many people out there that talk a lot of shit and then they don't show up. You know, Paulie shows up. You can like him or hate him, but in terms of as being a fighter, you know, he showed up that time to the spar, both of them, and he showed up tonight to fight. So I will always respect the fighter for that.
Is this feud over?
Yeah, definitely. We'll move on to the next things now, you know. The show goes on. The most important thing for me is my son. The rest, who gives a bollocks?
And on that cue, here comes your son. Enjoy this victory.
The rules. It's okay. There's clinch fighting, and punches landed in the clinch in bare knuckle fighting championship. You know, in a boxing match, Paulie would have won.
Okay,
the first round was close.
Obviously not the outcome that you were hoping for. Break down this fight for us. It seemed like it took a little while for you to get comfortable, get that jab going, using your movement, but break this fight down for us.
First of all, I'm still look pretty. I still look all right.
You look good, man.
All right.
It's a nasty cut, though.
No, I listen. I mean, the first round is always kind of a feel-out round, but I didn't honestly. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I got hit with one clean punch all night. Like in that one clinch, I got hit with a couple of little good shots. In that one clinch, I think it was like two little short shots he hit me with in one of the clinches, and that was it. I mean,
those clinch shots get you.
Shots that hit my stomach, grazed my face. I thought I pretty much outboxed him the whole way. I'm pretty sure, I broke my hand several times. I'm pretty sure when I threw that jab to the stomach, right hand to the head in round 2, I'm pretty sure my right hand is broken. I felt a pain that I'm pretty familiar with the breaks I've had in the past on my hands. But nonetheless, even after that, I thought I boxed him pretty well. I mean, I thought I got hit with a good shot in the third round. That was in the clinch. But other than that, I was hitting him with jabs on the way in and check hooks constantly. I mean, he was constantly walking into jabs and check hooks. As a matter of fact, my left hand is not broken, I don't think, but it's very sore because he walked into a lot of jabs and check left hooks, and he wasn't landing on the way in. He was only getting hit on the way in. So I thought I was touching and not getting hit. But, you know, I guess that's the analyst in me talking. You know, maybe the rules are different here. And maybe, hey, just maybe, this wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? Maybe this was just something that, you know, a lot of people in boxing told me, you're above this. You shouldn't do this. You're a 2-time world champion. This is beneath you. And I thought, you know, let me give this sport.
I like this.
I think it's a cool sport, and there's a built-in rivalry that I think the fans would really love to see. And I think they responded in kind by coming out here and were very loud and vociferous. And in the build-up, they were very opinionated. And I thought, you know what? Let me give this a shot because this is kind of the right timing for everything. But maybe. I mean, basically, people were. Maybe I was wrong, man, because I mean, I'm 38 years old. I'm too old to start campaigning off of a loss. You know, I would have done this again, and I would have considered like coming back, and I didn't mind it. Once I got my feet wet in here, you know, I got into the crowd, and it was cool. You know, I kind of liked the adrenaline rush and whatnot, and I thought like I said, I thought I was winning pretty easily, but it wasn't. I guess it was different. I don't know. Maybe
I think you did.
I don't know what to say about the decision, really. From my opinion, I thought I was handily winning.
Paulie, people were shocked, especially in the boxing world.
We're gonna be here all night.
You would come to this sport, bare knuckle, give it a shot against a mixed martial artist. You came over and did it. Do you feel that this is a one and done, or could you come back again?
Nah, I'm done, man. I mean, like I said, if I would have won. It's a cool thing to come back from, and you know, like I said, I didn't have a bad time in there, you know, like once I got my feet wet, I was kind of boxing, I was trying, I hurt my hand around 2, and I was like, man, because I would have thrown more punches, and I would have been a bit more exciting. But you don't have excitement factor and effectiveness don't necessarily have to go hand in hand. Maybe the Florida judges, they don't judge enough boxing matches out here because we don't do shit as far as boxing out in Florida. And maybe these guys at ringside haven't watched the fight since the 20th century and they didn't know how to judge it. But
he's mad.
I thought this fight was pretty easy to score because I didn't really get hit aside from that one clinch in round 3. And these are bare knuckles, so once you get hit in the clinch and he held me down well, credit to him, he opened up these 2 cuts. But aside from that, like I said, I mean, my left hand is sore because I was pacing with it on the way in.
Paulie, if this is it, you're a true class act. You've done a lot for the boxing world and combat sports in general. Thank you, and we appreciate it.
And to all the boxing fans who told me I was too big for this, my sincerest apologies. I really wanted to give this a shot, and I didn't want to give boxing a bad name, and I didn't want to taint my reputation. I thought I would get treated the right way as the next world champion in this sport, and I thought I would get treated with the respect I deserve. I didn't want any gifts, but a clear win is a clear win, and my apologies to my fans. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulie Malignaggi. I'm going to bring in the president of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship now.
Yeah, I want to hear from him.
Well, David, it doesn't always happen, but that fight definitely lived up to...
They're based in Philly, by the way.
Give us your thoughts on both these fighters' performances tonight.
I mean, I thought they both went out there, and I thought they both fought the way that they wanted to fight, the game plan that they came in with, and I thought, you know, you really got to take your hats off to someone like Artem to come in and fight a class boxer like Paulie Malignaggi, a two-time world champion, and go in there and take it to him. This is what I say, though. Everybody says, who's going to win? It's different. This is bare knuckle. It changes the game. It changes everything. When you get hit with a bare knuckle or land with a bare knuckle, it changes the game. But I do think that the kind of event that we put on tonight will show the combat sports world that this is a very great combat sport, and I think a lot of fans are really coming over to this sport.
Huge night, by far the biggest event so far in the short history of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Congratulations quickly. Just give us an idea of what's coming up next.
Well, we got this guy that's right here in the background. He fought one half of that war on April 6th. Jason Knight, he's going to be stepping into Leonard Garcia on Saturday, August 10th. That's going to be in Biloxi, Mississippi. We got Jason Knight versus Leonard Garcia. We've got a monthly series we're starting in September. So we've got a lot of big plans for BKFC for the rest of 2019 and into 2020.
We are excited to see.
I'm disappointed. You know, you can tell they wanted Paulie to win. You know, for their brand, they needed Paulie to win. But, however, with bare knuckle, in this organization, punches in the clinch mean something, and that activity means something. That's in their scoring criteria. But in a boxing match, Paulie was schooling me, you know. And I'm wondering, did they give round 1 to Lobov? I want to see the actual scorecards and the round breakdown. It's 2-minute rounds. 5 rounds. Here, you know, I wonder if they're going to give us some highlights. Here, you know what we're going to do since the video's running long? Let's do a jump cut, and then we're going to talk a little bit more for about the next 2-3 minutes or so. I'll be right back. Please subscribe. Until they get to the highlight, I can't fast forward it because this is live. So I can just jump cut, be back. Crazy, man. Oh. You know, and it was moves like that where Paulie was like stumbling, and nonetheless, if it was a boxing, and they showed him bow. By the way, the BKB owner is not happy. You know, they needed Paulie's endorsement for their sport. You know? And, you know, it's upsetting. You know, because, not only, the sport is different. The scoring is different. You know, they're not with the jabbing. Also, BKFC 7 sounds amazing with their first women's championship fight. Remember, they had Beck Rawlings at one point in time. I'm going to support it. You know, and they're really excited about, talking about where they're going to be in the next several years and comparing themselves to, like how the UFC first started, basically hinting at, we're a work in progress. So, I can respect that. But, it's a shame that this happened to Paulie, but I can see now, like, how he lost the fight, especially since 2-minute rounds. Paulie has never been known to be a fast starter, And his face does look like mince, you know. I mean, look. You know, he's cut up. And remember, like I was saying, those shots in the clinch, you know, you get touched by those, you know, you're going to get cut. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Love. I'm going to give the card a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to object to the scoring, unfortunately. Like I said, if it was a boxing match, you know, Paulie would have been winning, but this is in boxing. You know, forgot his name, but the president or owner, the founder of this organization, he is not happy. You saw that shit all over his face. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is even Showtime was tweeting, you know, support of Paulie. Well, they needed Paulie to win. I mean, yeah, Artem is cool and everything, but McGregor's not going to endorse them. You know, like, you know, they was. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.